Good evening, friends. Tonight I am here to let you know that a miracle is about to happen in your life. I once read a story about two cockroaches who were good friends and they were both very strong. But they were very different in that one was always optimistic while the other was always pessimistic. And one day these two cockroaches were playing and accidentally fell into a pot of hot milk. And they were both having difficulty getting out of the pot. They swam around and around, but there was nothing solid underneath, so that made it impossible for them to get out. And the pessimistic cockroach began to think to itself, "Oh, I am not a good swimmer, and if I continue going around like this, I will get very tired." And it did become very tired, gave up the struggle, and sank to the bottom of the pot and drowned. While the optimistic cockroach, on the other hand, began to think to itself, "If I continue the struggle just a bit longer, maybe a miracle will happen." And it continued swimming around, and as it swam through the milk, its tired legs began to churn the milk into butter. And this optimistic cockroach was able to step onto the solid butter and out of the pot. You see, friends, there are times you don't know how or when, but you have to believe that a miracle is about to happen. Like this optimistic cockroach, you've got to hang in there just a bit longer. Yes, you're getting tired. Yes, you're losing faith. You want to give in, but you've got to keep moving. You need to tell yourself, "Self, my breakthrough is about to come through, and I am going to hang in there just a bit longer to receive it." You see, friends, the problem with people today is that too many of us give up when we are so close to receiving our breakthrough. You are on your final year at university. You're working on your thesis and at the same time preparing for final exams. It's becoming too much for you. You want to just throw it all away, but you can't, because a miracle is about to happen. You've been laid off work, the bills have not been paid, the kids need to be in school, and it's becoming too much for you. You can't cope, but you have to, because your breakthrough is coming. And it's not our job to know how or where it is coming from. We only have to be ready to receive it. Now pay attention, friends. Ready does not mean sitting idle looking to the sky, watching the telephone hoping it will ring, or listening for the doorbell. No. It means doing what you can do to get yourself out of this pot of hot milk. So you lost your 9 to 5, but you're doing a part-time at the corner store bagging the groceries. It does not pay much, but at least it ensures that there is going to be food on the table for the next few days. I remember my husband sharing his personal experience with me. He said that he was only 2 years old when his dad passed away, and so his mom was left to raise 5 young children on her own without any steady source of income. She was a seamstress by profession, but for a period of time nothing was really happening. So one morning she got up and realized that there was nothing to give the kids for breakfast. She woke them up and they all prayed, and she informed them that there was no food in the house and that they should not worry. Instead, they should get ready and go off to school. The Lord would provide. And so the kids drank some water and went off to school. Their mother spent the day doing the little sewing that she had, hoping that somebody would come to collect and pay her some money. When the kids returned from school, his mother called them all and said to them, "There is still nothing, my children, but the Lord will provide." And so the kids waited and waited and nothing. By evening time, the mother called the kids and asked them to get ready for bed. My husband began to cry. "Mom," he said, "I am hungry. I cannot go to sleep. You said the Lord would provide. Where is the food?" And so his mother scolded him. "Son, when I have food, do I not give you? Have I ever left you hungry when there is food in this house? Go wash up and let's pray." And as she prayed, she said, Lord, I thank you for giving me your children to look after. Today I had nothing to give them, but Lord, I know that you will provide. I pray your blessings upon them as they go to bed. And they all went off to bed. He said it was about 11 p.m. when there was the big bang on the door, and his mom got up and asked, who was at the door? And the person on the other end replied, it is me, Mistress Deselong. And his mother asked, what are you doing here so late? Mistress Deselong was a very old friend of his mother, but the two had not seen each other in many, many years. Mistress Deselong answered, I came to see you. By that time, all the kids were up peeping through the doors and windows. So his mother opened the door, and indeed it was her friend, Mistress Deselong. She explained to his mother how she had been through the entire town searching for her, because she had opened this store selling clothing in her town, and she wanted his mother to make all the dresses to sell in the store. And not only did she come to say that, but she had a van packed outside loaded with bales and bales of fabric. My husband said that their house had no space to store all that fabric, and they had to put some up at the neighbor's house for the night. Mistress Deselong also gave his mother a huge deposit in cash for the job. She also brought some cakes and snacks for the kids. His mother was so thankful. She explained to Mistress Deselong what happened today, and Mistress Deselong could not believe it. After she left, his mother looked at them and said, didn't I tell you the Lord would provide? From this day, every month when Mrs. Deselong came to collect dresses from his mother, she would come with a box of groceries. Didn't I tell you, dear friends, the Lord will provide? And so, friends, I say to you today, that whatever situation you are confronted with, hang in there just a bit longer. Don't give up. Believe and trust that a miracle is about to happen. The Lord will provide.